Call this meeting over. We'll say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much, and thanks for coming out on a special meeting on this Wednesday evening. We have, they've done quite a bit of work over here on the ditch, but when you get to the end of the property that we're working on, it kind of still bottlenecks. And so the worry was, we did all this great work on this side, and then the water's gonna still back up and flood. So we wanna push that clearing of trees and dredging some beyond the property line into Mr. Woolard's property, and he's already given permission, signed a paper for Pete, for us to do whatever we need to do with the creek bed on that side. So, and apparently there's lots and lots of crawdads over there too, which,
Oh, well, they
It's
used
kinda
to be
fun.
on, they used to be on this side of
Yeah?
39, yeah, we used to go down and catch them crawdads all the time.
yeah, I love that there's all that wildlife over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pete, I'll turn this over to you since you were the one who requested this special
I
meeting.
really hadn't had time to get everything printed off. We'll have to kind of,
All right, do we have enough of these for everybody, or?
that's what I mean, if you want to wait, I can print more off. We just now got that.
I'm fine with you just reading what's on there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so clearing trees and ditch east of the property line that we're working on, it's another $10,000, and they're gonna go. There's a really old bridge that used to be there, and now it's not because it fell in, and they're gonna go to that point, which probably 300 yards,
From Mr. Swanson's property on the two, yeah.
about 300 yards.
It gets down to 1 foot wide. Well, if we don't widen that and take care of that dam, all the work we've already done is basically for nothing. It'll still create a backup.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other part with completing the area where we're at, because of how wet the soil, the ground is over in that area, and trying to just finish cleaning the and construction of the bridge to go across there. That total is going to be extra above and beyond the $9,000 we already approved, and that's a $23,000 request.
Okay, let me, on Mr. Swanson's property, we had to go in and do work to, meet the agreement. So that, altogether, that would have been $14,000 in Mr. Swanson's property to get that, where it'll meet the agreement. So far, without the bridge, that's $24,000. You follow me?
So
They do not.
we're talking a total of one of those papers, not
No, those,
an addition.
well, the 10,000 is added on going past Mr. Swanson's property.
Okay.
To
You're
finish,
kinda
to
losing
finish
me.
taking the
How about-
trees, to finish taking the trees out on past Mr. Swanson's property. That would go back behind Richard Franklin. and
So the
go-
water can flow and everything.
Yes,
Don't dam everything
yes,
down.
yeah.
So we've already paid how much? 14?
Well, it would be 14 on Mr. Swanson's.
And that's including this 10?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
No. Then the 10 goes on past that.
That wasn't in the plans, original plans.
On down, on
Okay.
east, further east onto Mr. Woolery's property. We have to go to that dam or it's not gonna work.
And that's the 10,000.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so what's the 23?
That's for a bridge on Mr. Swanson's property. Now there's two different bridges there. One of them is a 40-foot culvert backfilled with gravel. which I think we could cut that down. I talked to Andy about that. We could cut it down to 20 and backfill the gravel. And the other one is a wooden bridge made out of telephone poles, 3 of them, with concrete anchors on both ends, or both banks,
Okay,
and then 2x6s.
okay. So
For the
this
floor.
actually is.
That's separate.
That's part of
That's
putting
the bridge is
Swanson's
part of the
property
agreement.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But the
this is
10,000
just
is
what
up
we're
above
talking about to
the
do the
bond.
ditch.
Well, we need,
To decide what kind of bridge we're gonna.
yeah, we need to decide how we're gonna go on the bridge. Are we?
We're just saying.
Peter, I did not give you a quote to do what we just finished up on the dirt on the banks. So
Well,
you
that was, I
don't
thought
pay
that was the
them.
extra 5.
It is, but I didn't get you a quote for that.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, so
Com-
let's kind of itemize this line item. So we approved $9,000 originally for the work.
Right.
And that's been done.
Hmm.
So, and
Well-
then you approved an extra 5,000 on top of that, so that's
That was-
14,000 that you just said.
Yes,
Okay. And so then the bridge options, you said there's 2 different options. We're not doing both types of.
No,
bridge,
no,
right?
no, no,
So
no.
we have 2 different choices.
right,
Here's bridge 1, here's bridge 2.
right.
All right, so bridge 1 would be the,
60-inch culvert,
okay,
40 feet long, but I don't think we need 40 feet. You know what I mean? Because I just talked to Andy, can we cut that down to 20, which would make that cheaper by quite, well, would that be almost half or not?
You'd be saving probably about 4,000 to 5,000, I would say, because you're gonna use less stone. You're
Yeah,
gonna
because we
use less
still gotta
rock.
have pads to be able to get the gravel back there and all that kind of stuff, because it's a swamp.
because of just how soggy the ground is.
Yeah,
And this bridge that we're talking about though is to go on Swanson's property.
yes,
To make right what
Yes.
was taken out
yeah,
a couple of years ago,
yeah,
whatever.
well, 6 probably, wasn't it?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
Well,
to me, I would say that bridge should be
No.
taking care of what happened 6 years ago. And then we're just talking about cleaning the ditch from wherever we've left off
from Swanson's property
and
on,
cleaning on.
yeah, to pass to
And
that
that's an
dam
additional
that's creating it.
$10,000
Yes, that
to
10,000,
clean that.
yeah.
So we don't really have to vote or decide on Swanson's bridge tonight. I mean, if you don't have what we're doing.
Well, I'd say yes, we do. 'Cause I
Well,
still
it's,
wanna
it's
finish
kind of
up
why
there.
we're here. We want to decide
Don't
how
wanna
much
finish
and
up.
what kind,
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, so we've covered the culvert type bridge. What was the second option for bridge? You said a
Wood,
wood bridge
Made
with
out-
some
made out of,
concrete anchors.
on both
Okay,
both banks.
What's the cost for that bridge?
Well, that was the one, that was $8,000, correct?
8,000. Okay.
okay. So the way this reads, $23,000, that's not right then, right?
Well,
It's
if we
either
did both
8
bridges.
or it's 15.
Right.
This one's for the culvert and gravel.
Yeah.
The one that's with the 40 foot. If we put 40 foot in with gravel, and because the ground is so soggy, we can't get dump trucks in there,
Yeah,
we have to rent pads
To drive on.
so they can get back in there.
Okay.
You can't even get back in there without it. So we can cut this cost down, this 23,000 down 5,000 if we go with 20 foot instead of 40.
uh-huh,
And that would still give us approximately what, 8 foot wide, time you slope it off and everything? Crossing. Which would be basically the same width-wise if we go with a wooden bridge. We wouldn't have to,
$8,000.
Yes, we wouldn't have to rent the pads with the wooden bridge, you could move that back there with an excavator, right?
Right.
Just set it.
And this is all okay with you? If we're
Well, that's why
replacing-
he's here too.
So-
Yeah, if we're replacing that bridge, we don't wanna do it and then have it come back,
Right.
it's
So
not.
part of the settlement is you have to give me a bridge, and you guys said you're gonna own the bridge, so that's where we're at on that part of it. And my thought process is all the work that's been done at this point in time, if we don't get the bridge in there soon, all that's gonna overgrow again. So, you know, it'd be nice if I get over there and maintain it, cause I'm already dealing with saplings and stuff that weren't there 6 years ago that I gotta do something with. And the bridge option, if you go with the wood bridge option, are we gonna have any engineering on this, or you guys gonna select telephone poles, cause you guys have to maintain this. If you do a culvert, there's gonna be less maintenance over time too, so keep that in consideration.
So we went,
Okay. So any more questions on the bridge then? Or thoughts?
wait a minute.
Now, you would, Andy, you would put in, if it was a wooden bridge, you would do that, right? And you have done this before, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Yep.
So, as far as I feel on engineering,
I mean, you're just prolonging the
no,
project.
I feel this gentleman's probably qualified.
I'm saying the town will be liable for the way it gets installed then, that's what I'm saying, cause you guys are owning the bridge, you follow me?
Right.
Yeah.
And part of the settlement was engineering drawings, so
Yeah.
if there's any,
Here's something else to think about. You kept saying 23. I went looking at the paper. 23 is the total of the two bridges combined, okay?
Uh-huh.
So if we went with a culvert, and that would be $15,000, correct?
Mhm.
But if we cut it back to 20 feet,
Yeah.
knock 5,000 off of that,
Right.
so that'd be
So
10,000.
what we'll
So-
do, like, whatever we decide on tonight, you
Yeah.
know, I've got kind of the price for both things laid out there, so
Yeah.
we can make a decision and I can make a formal quote on what we decide, you know, if we take off the 5,000 and make it shorter,
Yeah.
I will just revise that quote. I just figured it was less paper and,
Yeah.
you know, easier.
I like the less maintenance idea of the culvert, cause that obviously means that, we're not gonna have to do as much
Plus-
in the future.
Yeah, plus
So-
it's only $2,000 difference if we shorten it down to 20 feet instead of 40. So that makes it more feasible, in my
And
opinion.
if ever, I mean, I don't know, this would be a Mr. Swanson thing, like, if we're okay with waiting until it dries out, then we can take the mats off of that. Or if we can use the sewer right away, I don't know what options we really have, you know, other access, but if we wait until the summer, then we won't have to rent the mats.
I just,
Well,
this one,
if you probably found by
Is,
digging down there, Clayton,
this
you know,
is just the-
hold a lot of water.
Right.
It would have to really get dry, I think, for your equipment and stuff, or for trucks to
yeah,
not have a problem, cause I remember before when they were in there first time, there was a lot of ruts and stuff down there, so
Yeah.
I would just like to see
according to,
the job done.
okay.
If we
I would
put
agree,
this
'cause
down
I don't
to
have to move
30
out,
feet,
move back in.
I'd say that's a better deal, cause there's no maintenance once it's done,
Yeah,
and it's only $2,000 difference.
yeah. Okay, I'm still not sure that I quite understand. But hey,
So-
Well, you're not in the construction business.
No, if you plant flowers across the.
yeah. Do that.
Alright, so I like the 20-foot, like culvert, less maintenance, get that, you know, ordered, installed,
Okay.
you know, backfill it, make, so
Okay,
it's something that's sturdy, we're not gonna have to worry about it, you know, rotting and collapsing. I mean, it's something that'll last for many, many years.
so,
I agree with that.
Okay,
I guess so then, if it was, say, 10,000 to 20,
Mhm.
I guess the total altogether, everything done, would be 34,000.
That's the extra.
That's
on
the
east
extra
of-
going to
east of-
the dam and everything.
Yeah,
And that includes the extra for moving the dirt.
And that doesn't include the 9,000 that we've already
Well, we haven't,
approved,
even-
or does it count that 9,000 that?
that's including that. That's
Yeah,
including
would be
that.
including that, but then we added an additional 5,000 to do the slopes.
Yeah, which
Which I
that's,
didn't get you
that's
for.
in, it's all in there. Yeah, that's all in there. Everything's in there for 34,000.
now, these pads, of course, you'll have to rent those on that.
Yeah.
How long, once you rent them, you won't have to keep paying extra on 'em until you're through. I mean, cause you're gonna go east, since you'll be going east too, I didn't know if you're gonna have to drive trucks over that.
No, I think we're gonna take the concrete and we're gonna take the I-beams back to the town building, and then the concrete we were just gonna put there on that bank that's washing out there. Because we won't have to haul anything out of there, we'll just spread it out, kinda like we've done on Mr. Swanson's property. And
Sounds like a plan to me. Cause personally, I'd like to, it's been going on for a long time, I'd like to see it get done.
Yep. Yep, it has. And
So
then,
subtracting the $9,000 that we already approved, so
okay,
let's consider that a different approval. We gave the $9,000 approval, so then the
be 25,000.
25,000?
Yeah.
25,000 additional
Yeah.
dollars that you want appropriated
Yep.
for this project.
Yep.
So that's the issue on the table. Do we, basically give an additional appropriation of $25,000 to continue finishing this project?
Well, as much as I hate to say it's a lot of money, but it has to be finished and done right.
And it's coming out of the storm
Yeah.
water fund, and we have ample enough money.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we appropriate the extra $25,000 to satisfy this job.
Okay, got a first motion?
I'll second.
All right, got a second motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, any other business we need to address tonight?
Come on, John.
Well, I didn't know if you was gonna talk, if you wanted to talk about the sewer plant contract. That's what I thought the meeting was gonna be about.
For renewing,
Renewing.
either renewing,
Sean's one.
Oh, no.
no, we have until May
Yeah.
to sign a new
Yeah.
contract, so we don't have to do that tonight.
Right.
We can do that at the next meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do I have a consensus to adjourn then?